We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good afternoon and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak, sponsored by Renaissance Bank. Today is Friday, July 20th, and I'm your host, Elizabeth Walters. We're going to take a look at the top news and sports stories from Northeast Mississippi, but first, let's start with your weather forecast. We'll have a chance of scattered strong thunderstorms this evening, with some storms producing damaging winds and large hail. Today's high will top out around 96 with a low of 74. And taking a look at your weekend forecast, Saturday will be cloudy with a high of 93 and a low of 72. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 91 and a low of 70. And Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 88 and a low of 69. Now let's take a look at today's top headlines. The Lee County Board of Supervisors voted earlier this week to grant the city of Tupelo an extra year of guaranteed access to the county jail for its municipal prisoners. A 2-year notice to terminate the jail agreement was issued last year that would terminate the agreement that was put in place in 1995. The decision came as part of a vote to take preliminary steps to hire a consultant to study conditions and propose solutions for the crumbling jail facility. Sheriff Jim Johnson said earlier this year that the county would not be under any obligation to house the prisoners at Tupelo after April of next year. When asked about Monday night's decision, Johnson said it was not his blessing and went on to suggest that Lee County build a new jail with only sufficient space for Lee County prisoners, agreeing to a larger facility only if surrounding municipalities financially contribute to construction. Plantersville and Calhoun City have started the search for new police chiefs after Mark Covington resigned from Plantersville earlier this month to become a full-time officer with the Pontotoc Police Department, and Tito Lopez announced his retirement to the Calhoun City Board of Aldermen. Plantersville is accepting applications through July 31st, and the town would like to name a new chief in August but will not press the issue. Mayor Shelton Shannon said that they're leaving the time frame open-ended and will look at the applications they receive and go from there. And Calhoun City former Chief Benny Langford will serve as the interim chief, and the city hopes to have a new chief in place by the 1st of September. And new this morning on djournal.com, Attorney General Jim Hood's office asked the Montgomery County Circuit Court to deny a request from Curtis Flowers to attend his mother's funeral this weekend. Flowers filed an emergency motion after his mother, Lola Flowers, died on July 14th after complications of surgery. According to court documents, he asked that the Mississippi Department of Corrections transport him to his mother's viewing this afternoon and funeral Saturday morning in his hometown of Winona. Flowers has also offered to pay for transportation costs. In its reply, Hood's office stated that both District Attorney Doug Evans and Montgomery County Sheriff Jerry Nix Jr. strongly object to any request for emergency leave, and that the Mississippi Department of Corrections determined heightened safety concerns. Flowers was convicted and sentenced to death for the 1996 murders of 4 employees at a furniture store where he was employed in downtown Winona. Flowers' 6th conviction is still on appeal. And in sports, the SEC media voted on all SEC teams and gave its predictions for the 2018 football season, with Ole Miss and Mississippi State each earning first-team selections. Wide receiver A.J. Brown and offensive lineman Greg Little represent the Rebels on the first-team offense, while defensive lineman Montez Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons were selected from the Bulldogs. Additionally, Mississippi State saw quarterback Nick Fitzgerald, running back Aries Williams, and safety Mark McLaurin added to the third team, along with Ole Miss offensive lineman Javon Patterson. The Bulldogs were predicted to finish third in the SEC West by the media behind Alabama and Auburn, and received 2 first-place votes in the division and 1 vote to finish as the SEC champion. Ole Miss was picked 6th in the West behind Texas A&M and LSU and ahead of Arkansas. Alabama was selected to win the SEC championship over Georgia. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Friday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you news off the page and on the go. Each story discussed today on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Walters, and have a great weekend.